everyone. Just finished the day at the office. We're getting back to some normalcy, as they like to say, in phase one, reintroduction to activities, seeing patients in a limited fashion. COVID has affected basically every family on earth, and here in America, we're very concerned about the isolation and the economic impact. More importantly today, or more applicably to my specialty, I'll speak about athletes returning to activities. As many athletes want to get back to their normal sports activities, we also need to remind them that they first need to get back to a schedule, focusing on sleep habits, general exercise, and nutrition. Due to the stay-at-home restrictions, deconditioning may have weakened muscles and slowed athletic reactions. To diminish the likely increased risk of injury and overtraining, those at home should initiate a regimen focused on cardiovascular, muscle strengthening, and sports-specific challenges to keep student athletes engaged. Our team is available to you for discussion and engagement if you would like. Coaching and rehabilitation, other strategies are being posted online by our athletic trainers, physical therapists, and even physicians. We welcome your suggestions and comments. Specific sport types have varying risk of COVID infection. The high risk and lower risk categories are assigned based on physical proximity, exertional level, and physical contact. Sports such as golf or tennis will have an easier time socially distancing and might return sooner. In the meantime, sport-specific drills that can be prescribed on an individual basis are being recommended. At this time, it is not recommended to convene in groups. When it comes to the return of youth sports, there is an enormous challenge as there is not a clear picture of how children experience COVID as a whole. We need to remember that there are asymptomatic carriers acting as a vector for spread. The reality that not all children would be spared this virus is becoming more apparent with case reports, as you may have seen, involving vasculitis and pulmonary complications in children. As far as return to sport, the Aspen Institute recently published a survey in which only 52% of parents are comfortable with their children returning to travel sports. That means about 50% are not. With this split, we need to be mindful of free play, and we need to think about how we can reliably and vigilantly return to activities. Sports are a vital part of our culture. We know that in Spain and Italy, many of the contact tracing led back to a single soccer match. We also know that when the NCAA canceled the Final Four, it was a major decision that then spurred the domino effect of other professional sports organizations closing and eventually businesses. Sports are a vital part of our culture. Many organizations will be following the leads of schools, so sports will follow the plan for school. While we ponder what that will look like, I currently recommend strongly considering moving fall sports to the spring, as we are not sure what seasonality and impact of loosening of restrictions is going to have. No one has that crystal ball. So we need to plan for the worst while hoping for the best. But at the same time, I think that we might kick ourselves if we have to cancel a season midway if the numbers start to increase this fall. We really need to see what this virus is going to do when the season changes in September. The question is, how big will the curve be? Not whether or if there might be a second wave, because there very likely will be. We need to just anticipate that and plan for that. Many organizations have suggested ways to minimize risk when returning to activity. Modify layouts for each environment, positioning children at least 6 feet apart when we do get back to practice, staggering start times, enabling separation of groups where some can leave and arrive at different times so that there's less traffic. Small groups of players should be kept together so that it would be easier to conduct daily health checks and contact tracing. We might want to consider temperature screenings. For those at high risk, consider virtual coaching and in-home drills. And as I said earlier, I think this is a great strategy for this time. Group size counts not only include athletes and coach, but facilities and operations, right? We need other people to keep the facility open. We must have policies on hygiene. We have to clean surfaces. Even though the CDC recently said that we might not have as much of a concern of contact surface spread, we know that fomites can hold the virus and cause spread of disease. So we need to be disinfecting. And we need to look at the objects such as the ball that's being used as a potential source of contact spread. Discontinue use of group hydration stations. People should bring their own water bottles, preferably not plastic, something that can be reused. Cleaning supplies should be on hand. Disinfectants, hand washing stations should be available. We need to wipe down commonly touched surfaces before and after use. And as far as masks, we're not currently recommending that people wear masks during athletic activity for the entire duration, but if contact is unavoidable or proximity is unavoidable, we encourage having a mask on hand that you can kind of pull up and protect those that we're running past or near. In the meantime, be well and be safe. And please post comments, like, subscribe to the channel so we can keep up to date with you. Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, cell phone, email, whatever you have available to you. I'm happy to answer your question. My team is available to you to help keep you, your athletes engaged, and plan as this very fluid situation presents itself. The rules will change, the policy will change depending on what happens over time. As the restrictions are relaxed and we see what happens to the numbers, we'll make our next move. I look forward to seeing you all soon.